Thank you.
In the meantime, there is this other concern that the bad guys, namely ISIS in this go-round, are really trying to attack the Internet and a cybersecurity alert, the likes of which we've never seen. Now a Texas congressman by the name of Joe Barton is on top of this and wants to shut down part of that Internet to foil these guys. Explain what that would involve, Congressman.
We were not trying to shut down the Internet, but we are trying to make it more difficult for ISIS and the various terrorist groups to use it to communicate between their cells overseas and potential terrorists in the United States. We also want to, when we know that it's a known terrorist site, we want to prevent them using it to send out their propaganda to people here in the U.S.
You've heard the free speech advocates, I'm sure, sir, say, well, you might shut it down and compromise it for the bad guys, but in so doing, you hurt the good guys. How do you counter?
Well, obviously, in a free society with various constitutional guarantees, we want to maintain those for the American people. But ISIS wants to destroy free society. They've declared a jihad against Western civilization generically, in the United States specifically. So we have to protect our people against that sort of a terrorist attack. And it's not always bombs and missiles. Sometimes it's words and propaganda.
But you see my point, though, that by ISIS now attempting to shut down a free society, by you trying to limit or at least put parameters on the free use of the Internet, don't you risk doing the same?
Well, we're not prohibiting American citizens from using the Internet.
So what are you doing? What are you doing?
For whatever their purposes. What we're trying to do, and we haven't done it yet. We're just in the beginning stages discussing this with the FBI and various private sector companies that operate the Internet and the FCC, Federal Communications Commission.
Right.
When you have a known terrorist cell and a known site that exists simply to propagandize to the American people, we do want to shut that down. There's no reason to let them send out their press releases, for all intents and purposes, about people they've beheaded and things like this.
I see.
But we are in no way trying to prohibit the free use of the Internet among the citizens that are using it for lawful, positive purposes.
In other words, you would screen out those
States.
attempts where they try to publicize horrific things they're doing, but I guess it always comes back to, what about someone else who might be pushing video that's on the border there?
Well, that's obviously that's a difficult question,
right.
But the terrorist attacks that we've had recently, the ISIS people allegedly used the chat rooms on PlayStation 4.
That's true.
And I have a 10-year-old son who has a PlayStation 4. I don't want to expose him to any kind of an ISIS propaganda attack or any kind of a spying mission. So it is a balancing act in a free society like we have, but we have laws to prevent attacks militarily, protect our country, and one of the constitutional requirements is to protect freedom here in the United States.
All right. Congressman, we'll watch closely. Thank you very much. Have a Happy New Year.
Glad to be on your program.